barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So see if I can get through this video. Kennedy in here having lunch. So it's fight week, man. Let's keep it a buck. Let's really delve into Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia. You guys know how I've been promoting this fight. But let's talk about something. I thought Shawn Porter said something that was real interesting today. I saw it on Fight Hype. He said Danny Garcia's camp wasn't his best camp. Adrian Broner's camp was. And I thought that was real interesting because we see on social media, we see the re-addition of Barry Hunter. We saw his sparring partners. You guys feel free to go on my channel. And that leads me to ask, did his camp get better or did his camp get worse? Is it overconfidence or is it just flat out, I got better skills? So let's delve into this and let's talk about how Danny Garcia can possibly win as it relates to Shawn Porter. So let's go back 3 years, June 2015. I remember that night. The reason why I remember that night vividly is because that's the night where I did that epilogue on Adrian Broner after that fight. And that night I interviewed Earl Spence and Floyd Mayweather when Floyd Mayweather said Earl Spence was the next best thing. So moving forward, typically when a fighter goes into a fight, we know the whole fiasco. He says, oh, this is my best camp. I've made some improvements. This is the best, let's say, since Collazo was a journeyman. This is the best Luis Collazo you've seen in years. I'm coming back. I'm coming for the knockout. I'm going to stop him in the 7th round. I'm going to beat him up. You know, whatever the case may be, right, at the end of the day. But this camp is just it's Shawn Porter just being honest, you know. I felt I was, maybe is he saying I felt I was better? Is there new levels I can get to that I didn't get to this camp? These are just questions that you got to ask yourself. And typically fighters don't say stuff like that. So let's talk about it. We know Shawn is ultra, real aggressive. Comes in. I know when you think of Shawn Porter, I know your immediate reaction is the Paulie Malignaggi fight where he just bullied that kid all the way out the ring, right? Like when you close your eyes, when I close my eyes, that's mine. There's 2 fights: the Paulie Malignaggi fight and the Keith Thurman fight, because that fight was just physically exhausting. Even to watch that fight today, and I know the outcome, that is a physically exhausting fight. You know what I mean? And that led me to think of the keys to Danny Garcia winning this fight. And this fight week, let's keep it a buck. We done did our job promoting this fight, but now let's just call it straight down the middle. This is a 50-50 fight, 55-45, 60-40 at best, either direction. You know, I think Danny Garcia will take a page out of Kell Brook's book. Kell's book ideas. Brooks' books is too close together. In terms of wanting to catch Shawn Porter coming in, I think Danny Garcia is a little bit more elusive. You know what I mean? He's a little bit more slippery up top, kind of like Canelo. He catches real good. He catches the 1-2 real good. He rolls exceptionally well. And like I told you guys in a video about a week and a half ago, Danny Garcia has an uncanny ability to understand how to win fights. You understand what I'm saying? And we all know Shawn Porter has, some people say he has a granite chin because Keith Thurman hit him with what I thought was an hellacious shot and he didn't fall, whereas Adrian Broner caught him with I thought it was like more of a check hook, like reaction type, and Shawn Porter just wasn't ready for it. But I think in order for Danny Garcia to win and give him the highest chances of winning, he's going to have to, you know, like Floyd Mayweather said, what's the one thing that beats speed? Timing. And I think I think Shawn Porter will be the quicker fighter in this, probably the more fast twitch muscle fibers. But if Danny Garcia wants to win, Maybe he doubles his jab to reset Shawn Porter. Maybe he doubles his jab to the ability to step to the side or have Shawn Porter reset. Or maybe he feints the 1 and catches Shawn with the 2. You know what I mean? Or he leads with the 2. Like when Floyd Mayweather fought younger guys, he knows that, and he knows, if you guys understand boxing, you know, catch 1, 2, 1, 2, catch 1, 2. I'm demonstrating it for you now. You guys aren't gonna see it, but 1, 2, right? Floyd Mayweather knew that, so when he led a lot of times with the lead right. A great example of that is Canelo. He went to the body, down bottom. He went to the body in the first half of the fight. The second half of the fight, he was leading Canelo with the straight right hand. And that may be something Danny Garcia may need in his arsenal. This is going to be a hell of a fight. Danny Garcia is capable of winning this fight. Shawn Porter is definitely capable of winning this fight. But now it's fight week, man. We got to call it down the middle. I got to give you guys, all 25,000. The reality of this fight. I think that in my eyes, it's a 50-50 fight. And I've told Kenny Porter this. I've told Shawn Porter this. I think this is a hell of a fight. I think this is a tough fight. And Danny Garcia quite possibly can win this fight. And can he knock him down or stop him? I think with Shawn's aggression, I think he can knock him down. You understand? Knock him off balance, knock him down. But in terms of a one shot, I don't think that's possible. I'm just being honest. I know he just stopped Brandon Rios, but I think Shawn is a real prime fighter right now. And the question remains going into this fight, and you guys know I pay attention to details. I pay attention to everything these guys say fight week. I watch all their stories. I watch who they hang out with. Instagram and social media is just one hell of a drug or one hell of a resource, depending on your perspective on knowing the ins and outs of these fighters. And you got to ask yourself, like, for real, like, why would Shawn Porter say Broner was his best camp? Or this wasn't his best camp? His best camp was 3 years ago. That sounds a little eerie to me, So stay tuned. I think it's a hell of a fight. Like I said, I get to New York Wednesday, as you guys always do. Instagram me your questions. I'll gladly ask. I've been doing a great job at asking you guys questions the past few fights. So feel free, ask me the questions. Put it in my DM. But yeah, I'm gonna call it how I see it. Danny Garcia has an absolute chance of winning this fight. Shawn Porter has an absolute chance of winning this fight. And we're going to... Hey, I'm trying to do a video, Kiki. Anyway. Yeah. So anyways, I'll probably do a part 2 to this video because Kiki wants to go play. But anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And put in the comment section on keys to victory to both guys, and I'll break them down. Any questions you guys have for this fight? I'm not saying I am the person that understands this fight the best. I just have a great deal of understanding. I done watched probably the last 8 fights. I'm just going to be safe and say the last 7, 8 fights of each of these guys. So feel free, put it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. But I thought it was real intriguing because most mature fighters, they always say, oh, this was the best camp. Floyd would say, I don't have to make no adjustments. I'm undefeated. They got to beat me. And I was just shocked that Shawn Porter would say Adrian Broner was his best camp. And Kenny Porter has alluded to, and Fight Hype has alluded to, as this being a superstar camp for him. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversation. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.